Welcome to On the Road with Craig and Linda, where every day is an adventure.
Our first stop of the day, Wilmington, Illinois, home of the Gemini Giant. If you look closely at that Gemini Giant, underneath that helmet is just a simple muffler man. Look, there's lovely Linda opening the door to the launching pad. This is a friendly little diner, and when you travel with Linda, the first thing on the first stop, she's going to the bathroom. And when you travel the historic Route 66, just about every stop that's 66 themed has their own little gift shop. Hey buddy, give me a hamburger, shake, and fries. Now let's see if we can go find Linda and get back on the road. Let's see what else Wilmington has to offer. Down the road is Lickity Split's ice cream shop. And I can just imagine back in the 50s and the 60s pulling up here in a convertible, your girlfriend in a poodle skirt, and you say, give me a banana split and a root beer float. And the next stop down the road is Braidwood, Illinois, home of the Polka Dot Drive Inn. It's just amazing how much times have changed, because I'm actually filming this from a McDonald's parking lot. And as usual, at the door is lovely Linda saying, let's go inside and take a look. And this is one of the great charms of going through historic Route 66. Imagining this place back in the 50s and 60s, everybody in their boots. And of course, they're listening to the King on the radio. And I think I'm gonna order up some food, a hamburgers, fries, and a vanilla shake. Well, let's see who we got hanging around outside. The king himself, Elvis Presley. And over to his right, lovely Marilyn Monroe. Watch out for that skirt, baby. How many of you younger people know who this is? James Dean and Betty Boop. Hey, it's Jake and Elwood, the Blues Brothers. And let's go. Wait, Linda, what are you doing on the phone? What, is your cell phone down? She's always on her phone, but she can't bring up Facebook. And again, the king at the Polka Dot Drive Inn on historic Route 66. Look at this. They even got a zoo. This is a lot of the great things that you see, like this folk art when you're driving down Route 66. And as you drive down the historic Route 66, you see a lot of new things that are out there now. Like this is the Braidwood nuclear reactor. And it's amazing, we're driving on a road that was built before the first splitting of the atom. Now don't blink or sneeze, because you're going to miss our next stop, Godley, Illinois. Yes, that actually is the Village Hall. And at one time, Godley was known as a strip mining coal town. Gardner, Illinois. And this looks like a cool attraction. A 2-cell jail. One for me, one for Linda. Let's check it out. This dates back to about 1905. They say they don't have any really criminals here. It was more to take care of the town drunks and the rowdies that were passing through. Let's go inside. Linda, do you want the right or do you want the left? This is one of the things I love about historic Route 66. Just imagine yourself like in 1905, 1906, sitting there watching over some guys. You got a nice stove right there. And wait, who do we have in there? He looks like a real outlaw. Don't get too close. Ah! Next door. This must have been like the Burger King or the McDonald's of the old days. After a hard day of traveling, you need to get some food. And where do you go? The local diner. And then it's back on the road looking at a lot of these attractions of the historic Route 66. And for those of you that have traveled Route 66, you'll notice over to the right, there's I-55. And along many of the sections of the historic Route 66, there's a new highway right next to it. But there's nothing like traveling on the old Route 66, the original Route 66. This is the superhighway of the 40s and the 30s. So let's pack up the family, and we're off to California. Our next stop is the village of Dwight. And don't you just love this? Oh, this is Americana. And you remember the old saying, you can trust your car to the man who wears the star. Here we are at an old-time Texaco station. Well, it looks like Linda went ahead already and was looking for some snacks. Hey Linda, was there any snacks in there? It's closed for the season. But this is an example of a beautifully preserved or restored 1930 era gas station. And if you come here in season, they have a very nice welcome center. And Linda, if you're looking for a bathroom, it's out back. Do you remember those old days with the bathroom on the side of the gas station where you had to get the key? This had to be a big operation. You got front and side pumps. And across the street, the diner. Our next stop, Odell. Population 1,014. And check out this old rust bucket in front of a Mobil. I just love places like this. Look at this. This is how they used to display oil in the old days. You don't see those around no more in your Speedway. Now I wonder if this truck is for sale. Look at this Dodge. It's a beauty. A little fixer-upper. Let's take a look at the back bed. It's a see-through. What a deluxe edition. The wife is really gonna like this one. Uh-oh. I knew there'd be something wrong with it. It's got a flat. Linda will go for that. And as you notice, there's a lot of great things that American pickers would just love, just laying outside. Now, I didn't realize that Odell was such a big town that they have 2 gas stations. This is an old Standard Oil building. This would be neat. This is like in the old days, pulling off, pulling up. There's probably a little bell, little hose that you run off. Ding, ding. The attendant comes out. What can I do for you, sir? Fill her up. Check the oil, check the tires. And by the way, do you have a mechanic on duty? You don't see that anymore. Well, looky here what we got out back. I'm ready to go to California. Let's pack up the family, the 2 dogs, and let's go on a road trip in our Winnebago. It's pretty neat how this looks just walking up. And then I notice this barrel over to the right. I have no clue of what this is, but it looks kind of neat. And Linda right now says, do they have any bathrooms here? Yes, they do. Clean washrooms. And finally now we're at the last stop of this leg of historic Route 66. First up, the old log cabin as you enter town. As you walk in, there's a sign. This is not Burger King. You don't get it your way, you take it my way. Or you don't get the damn thing. This is a must stop for all of you historic Route 66 travelers. And the best part, it's free. And then to end this off, we're gonna go through the War Museum. All right, let's take a look inside this museum. It's looking old. And look at the people here. I are so nice. We've gone to this museum about 3 or 4 times. How can I help you? I go, we're filming right now. Oh, look out. No. Come up and wave to the, there you go. Wave to the camera. And each stop along historic Route 66 has its own cabinet of goods. Basically, it's just the towns in the state of Illinois. So this is not a full Route 66 museum, but it's basically more of a museum that relates to the state of Illinois. Just look at all this memorabilia. Does this bring back memories of the great days gone by? I just like to take my time and absorb all the memorabilia, all the history in these cabinets. What life was like in the 30s, 40s, 50s, even the 60s along historic Route 66. If you really have a chance, visit this museum, and again, it's free. Let me tell you, if this bus could tell stories, it could tell stories. This is Scooby-Doo to the max. As we finish our walk around the back of the museum, you see more cabinets loaded with memorabilia. But let's take a look outside. Oh, this is a tour bus like a tour bus you've never seen. This guy was leading the rock star lifestyle before there was rock stars. He built this himself and traveled and chronicalized Route 66. Look at that, Robinson Crusoe in a school bus. It's closed right now, but it's open during the summer. But when you have a chance, this guy actually lived and went through Route 66 in this contraption. This is classic. Can't make this up. Let's check out the rest out back. They've done a great job of recreating what it must have looked like on Route 66 with murals on the back of the buildings. Like I said, if you have a chance, go to this museum. It's well worth it. And for me, when I was growing up, this was from Countryside, Illinois, the Wishing Well Motel. And let's go back inside now and check out the rest. This is like stepping back to World War II. Let's see what life was like. This was the home of the 1940s. Look at that old table made of chrome. Icebox. That was all modern back then. Look at this bed. Look at the quality. Look at the way that it was made. You don't find that anymore. And then the dining room table. People actually used to sit around it on a daily basis. Linda, time to do some laundry. And here's the toys that the kids used to have. No computers, no iPads. And there's a saying from years past, grab your hat and go. Now we just go. And this was before we had the internet and Fox News. This is how you learn what was going on in the world. The newspaper. And what did children do? They actually played with this stuff. Now we're getting to a more modern part of this exhibit. Radios in the 60s. Reminds me of Good Morning Vietnam. This is actually how they did their news broadcasts. It's crazy, isn't it? And look at that in the background, a reel-to-reel tape. And now let's go into the canteen and watch a band play. I don't see no amplifiers around here. No podcasts or on demand. It just, life seems so much simpler back then. And now let's enter the War Museum. I am proud to be an American, and I am proud for all the Americans that have served for our freedom. Amazing is the first thing that comes to my mind when I walk in here. These are the uniforms of soldiers that served and protected us throughout the years. Each uniform is a living legacy of that soldier. I feel like saluting. I think we take for granted all the freedoms that we have. Our hard people that fought in the Middle East. I've seen a lot of museums, but who would think this would be out in the middle of Illinois, in Pontiac, Illinois? And there's more. Just when we thought we saw everything, we walk into another room, and it's soldier after soldier lined up. World War II exhibits. The Vietnam War. I am in awe. If any of you folks are vets out there, make sure if you're traveling the historic Route 66 to stop and see this exhibit. I'm looking at that Navy uniform. My dad served in the Navy in World War II. Linda's dad served in the Korean War. My heart is just pounding. I am so proud to be an American. And the part when we come around the corner here is the uniforms that I am most anxious to see. There they are. World War I. That was over 100 years ago. Look at those thick wool uniforms. Boy, that must have been a tough war to fight in with the mustard gas. We've learned to fight a little more civil, if you call that nowadays. And I hope you all do what I do. Whenever you see a soldier on the street, I go up and I thank either him or her for making this country safe. Thank you all for serving us and protecting us. We are the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless America. And of course, Linda liked it, and we got to finish it off with the happy dance.
Thanks for watching our video. Hope you enjoyed it.
Now we ask us three things. First of all, give us a big thumbs up. Secondly, hit that subscribe button. And third, share it with all your friends. Thanks for watching us. Catch us on our next adventure.